Welcome back in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. So glad to have you joining us. Brought to you by Pass Rebels Golf Club. Check out multi-million-dollar innovation, PassRebelsGolfClub.com, 805-238-4722 for tee times. You also make tee times online at PassRebelsGolfClub.com. They have live music every Wednesday night. You can check that out on the website, PassRebelsGolfClub.com, or go to Facebook, and you'll find it there as well. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I don't know what it is, if it's the weather. I'm not sure what's happening, but it seems like golfers that are on the golf course are losing their minds lately. So Nikki, couple days ago, texted me. I was at work, and she says, hey, doesn't even say hey, just sends me a text, and it's got some sirens on a picture, and it says, man bites off another man's finger on a golf course.
The stuff I have to text you.
And I'm thinking, when is there ever a time that I would bite somebody's finger off at a golf course? Is there a time? I had to really stop and think about that. And I thought, man, something had to happen that was crazy. But this happened at Souther's Marsh Golf Club in Plymouth a couple Fridays ago. And the funny thing is the incident happened late in the day, and it left one guy with his thumb bitten off at the knuckle, which is, how do you bite someone's, how do you bite that hard?
A lot of pig's feet eating or something?
I don't know, but that should be the first clue, when they go to try to find this guy, because they haven't found the guys who did it.
Really?
Yeah. They still don't know who did this.
Now, I didn't hear that part.
So
I did hear when the police showed up, the guy had his finger in his hand.
Yeah, they got him to the hospital. The firefighters arrived at the scene from a 911 call by another person at the club. They take him to the hospital with part of his thumb, and immediately say, we can't get that back on.
Well, I didn't hear that
and
part.
they can't find the guys. That's the last I heard on the story.
That's so bizarre.
So I guess my question is, because the story doesn't elaborate on
what caused it.
Yeah. So what do you guys think caused it? What would cause you to bite off another man's thumb, Dave, on the golf course?
It's got to start with slow play. It's got to start, and then someone gets irritated, and then they hit into them, and then it escalates. Yeah.
I just don't know how you get your thumb close enough to the guy's mouth to bite it off.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
They probably went to hit him.
Did the guy who bit off the guy's thumb?
Got him in a headlock.
Had he practiced that move? And Dave's right. You gotta lock the guy down. If you're gonna rip his thumb off, he had to have him pegged, either on the ground, or he's got him in a headlock, or I would say if there's two things.
Go ahead and play through.
Couple things being a golf detective here. Number one, the guy who bit his thumb off has to have a huge set of chompers, and he's either wearing braces or maybe it was the guy from.
Oh God, that's funny.
Maybe it was the guy from 007. Remember there was a character.
Gold.
Yeah, and he had the steel teeth. Right. The other thing is, the second thing I'm gonna bank on is the guy's either got to be a bodybuilder that ripped the guy's thumb off with his mouth, or he knows wrestling or judo, or he knows something to pin the guy down in order to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the guy who lost his thumb. It's not like his fist was in mid-flight to the guy's face, and the guy goes, "Oh, let me open my mouth, and I'm just going to rip your thumb off in the process of you punching me or trying to punch me in the face."
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't. I can't picture it. Every time I start to think of something, I go, "No, that wouldn't happen."
I agree with you. It's probably they were wrestling at that point, and the guy was trying to tear his hands away from his neck or something, and so his thumb was right there, so he bit it.
So maybe the guy who lost his thumb actually had the other guy pinned, right?
Yeah.
He's got the guy who lost his thumb's got his arms around the guy, right? So the guy's
trying to get away,
going, I can't get out. Maybe he's holding him by the throat.
Yeah.
And so the guy who's pinned rips his thumb off with his mouth.
Yeah.
Because that's all he can do to try to get this guy off of him.
Right.
It's like it's like TV shows, when they have fights,
Yeah.
There's always a guy who you're like, uh-oh, he's pinned.
Yeah.
Right? Uh-oh, he's wrapped around him. What's he going to do? And they either do the elbow to the crotch or they do the punch over, they go punching backwards because they got the guy's wrapped got his arm around his neck.
Right.
Or they bite him.
Yeah.
And now they got the bite his thumb off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it in that situation.
I mean, the force of that is unbelievable. I just can't even believe it. I mean, and Nikki, to your point, I started cruising through, and this is from June of this year. Started cruising through on some other stories because I thought, well, what other stuff has happened? And Billy and I have done this on our Halloween show, but it's always interesting to see because there is a flurry of things like this going on lately on golf courses. And whether because it's social media is, excuse me, making us more aware of what's going on. But here's a guy, there's a single who's trying to play through a foursome, and the foursome beat the crap out of him in Oklahoma. Bludgeoned him.
Well, don't try to play through.
Yeah, I mean,
It's beyond me, really, that kind of stuff can happen. But it just, I guess, shows the pent-up frustration and anger.
Yeah, and the guy who's trying to play through is 55 years old. The guy who's playing through is 55 years old. The guys who beat him up, foursome, average age is 70.
20.
70.
70.
70 years old.
Well,
70.
You got to wonder
years old.
what is not.
He ain't playing through me, sonny.
You got to wonder what is unsaid in a situation like that.
Well, yeah, there's a lot to that, but
like
still.
what really happened before,
Yeah, I mean, I had once, and this is, I had a guy. I won't say where I was. I was the director of golf, and I had a guy that was out playing barefoot on the golf course, and he was speeding through groups, and he was a single. And he's playing barefoot, and we had told him, we said, hey, you probably shouldn't play barefoot because they had sprayed the fairways. It was just a health thing, right? So when I had suggested to him that he shouldn't play barefoot for his safety in the beginning, and I said, very nice, that irritated him from the get-go when he checked in. So he goes and plays, and then he's a single, and we had told him, we said, hey, it's very busy. We tried to pair him up with people. He wouldn't do it. And so he started playing through people. And so he got to the 13th hole at this particular golf course. And it's like, you get out in the 13th hole, you're not going anywhere. There's nowhere for you to hit. There's nowhere for you to go because it's really narrow. So I got a call
It
saying,
goes over a creek.
Yeah.
But I don't know what course it is.
No, not at all. And, and he's just irate. So I get a call from the marshal. So I go out there, try to talk the guy off the ledge, so to speak. And he pulls his club out of the bag and proceeds to come after me with his club. And he's like, I'm going to smash your bleeping head in if you don't get away from me.
Jeez.
Yeah. And it was all because he usually played at a different time of the day, not on the weekend, where it was his own golf course. And so his weekly
Perception
round
of the golf
and
course is
perception of the golf course is completely different. And it just light switch just clicked his brain in a whole different mode. And this guy, I knew he's very, very nice other than this particular situation. Now maybe there's other things going on
I was
there.
going to say what's happening at home and da-da-da.
Right.
Yeah.
But crazy.
Wow.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And that was one of the few times on the golf course that I actually feared for my life.
Yeah.
Because I can still see it. It was like a Titleist blade iron.
Wow.
He grabbed the 5-iron, he's got it over his shoulder, and he's coming right at me.
So he had enough club.
Oh, he had enough. That would have done some damage. But
golf clubs, they're nasty.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
That's
had
crazy.
And I don't mind saying this. When I was at Black Lake, this was before Chuck Liddell became the big UFC fighter that he was or is. His foursome, we had to stop him because there was a foursome behind him hitting into him, and Chuck was going to beat the living crap out of him.
Yeah.
And we literally had to pull him into the back office at Black Lake and say, "Look, you gotta relax." But I get it. I mean, he had almost been hit twice, and he had asked the guy to stop. So then his next level, especially based on what he was doing at that time, is to physically attack.
Yeah.
So.
And I've had that happen too. That is really annoying when you're waiting on the people in front of you and the people behind you start hitting into you more than once.
People don't understand the damage that can happen, if you get
Yeah.
hit by a ball.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But with that's the end of the first hour, guys. We're going to take our break. We're going to come back on the other side with Clubbing with Dave, so you guys won't want to miss it. Stay with us. It's Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy right here on the Golf Talk Radio Network.